Biden, the federal government was allocating $8 million for this. $8 million for creating transgender mice. This is factual. No, it's not. You hear the President of the United States claim we're spending $8 million on sex change experiments on mice. Well, I'm sure he's overstating it, but there must be some truth. Turns out there isn't. In the high-stakes, high-wire act of modern American politics, there is no grander spectacle than a collision between unshakable authority and raw truth. For years, Donald Trump has expertly shaped his own narrative, overpowering critics with the sheer weight of his persona. But what happens when that relentless force encounters an immovable object? Not on a debate stage, but on the disarming setting of a late-night talk show. The title of this story captures that extraordinary historic encounter. Trump loses it after Jimmy Kimmel revealed details of his marriage on live television. In an interview destined to be remembered for years, Jimmy Kimmel, the entertainer Trump previously dismissed as a low-rated clown, tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long duration, especially for Melania. That morning, Trump honored his longest-serving spouse by reposting this AI-generated image of himself. He achieved what no political adversary had ever managed to do. He arrived equipped with proof and, in a moment of pure unscripted television, he exposed a falsehood so integral to Trump's public persona that it prompted the former president to experience a complete and utter meltdown in front of the global audience. The moment unfolded as a conversation with the president, a special primetime edition of Jimmy Kimmel Live. The vibe was not that of a standard comedy program. The atmosphere in the studio was electric, charged, and filled with a carefully curated bipartisan audience. Donald Trump entered to a mixed, nearly dissonant reception of cheers and applause. He was in his element, energized by the crowd, a consummate showman poised to dominate a host he clearly considered a lightweight. Quickly, he attempted to fill out a bracket himself, though it seemed he might already be second-guessing that decision. President Trump, did you complete an NCAA March Madness bracket? I didn't. I should have. Have there been any upsets? A couple, yes.
Right.
Perhaps a little bit.
Can you show that?
I can provide one, but maybe backdated.
Right.
The first thought that always comes to mind is, how can I manipulate it?
He sat down.
A broad, confident smirk on his face, ready to perform. Jimmy Kimmel, for his part, was not the man the audience expected. His usual comedic, laid-back demeanor was replaced by the calm, focused intensity of a seasoned journalist. He was not there to tell jokes. He was there to extract answers. For the first 20 minutes, the interview was a tense but predictable exchange. Trump dodged, weaved, and boasted. Kimmel patiently fact-checked, refusing to allow the former president's familiar deflections to slide. The audience could feel the pressure mounting. The turning point came when Kimmel shifted to a topic Trump has long used as a cornerstone of his public image, his family. In 2 minutes, Donald Trump delivered what may later be remembered as a defining speech. This was his longest address since taking office. He went on and on. One could have left, watched 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, returned, and he would still have been speaking. To begin, Trump used one of his signature openings. And I know there is much competition, but this may be the most absurd thing he does. Mr. President, Kimmel began, his voice even and measured. You have often, and especially recently, presented your marriage as a model of traditional values, a source of your stability and strength. You promote it as a core element of your public persona. Trump nodded proudly, smiling at the audience. That's right, Jimmy. A great marriage, an incredible first lady, the best. And we have a strong partnership. People love that. They respect it. It's a very strong marriage, a beautiful thing, and it's what gives you the stability to lead. But the former president also boasted about upcoming shows he was bringing in. He promised major Broadway productions like Phantom of the Opera, though not Hamilton. Hamilton was scheduled at the Kennedy Center, but they withdrew in protest, which was fine with Trump. I was never a big fan of Hamilton. I never liked it much, he said. The irony was striking. Trump criticizing Hollywood while craving validation was like witnessing a spectacle. He was confident, basking in his own legend, having set the stage for the trap himself. He had no idea what was coming. Kimmel let the boast linger. He did not laugh or move. His expression remained unreadable. Mr. President, he said, quiet now but with a dangerous edge, I'm glad you mentioned that. The studio fell silent. Kimmel reached under his desk and pulled out a thick bound document with a plain, academic-looking cover. We've conducted research for this interview, Kimmel continued, his voice steady. This document compiles public records, Air Force One travel, manifests, White House schedules, and catering invoices, all obtained via the Freedom of Information Act. We've spent the past month reviewing everything. Trump's confident smile faltered. His eyes narrowed. This was not in the pre-interview notes. You present a beautiful picture of a marriage, Kimmel said, but that is not what these official records indicate, is it? He donned a pair of reading glasses, transforming from host to prosecutor. This report, he said, opening the binder, details that for most of the past 3 years, you and the First Lady have maintained nearly entirely separate lives. Trump's face began to flush with anger. These records show, Kimmel pressed on, his voice calm and precise, that on 14 official state trips, separate lodging arrangements were booked, sometimes on different floors, and in 3 cases in different hotels within the same city, all at significant taxpayer expense. This is information the American public, to whom you sold this story, deserves to know. The camera held a tight, unflinching close-up on Trump's face. Sir, the official White House kitchen and scheduling logs indicate that you and the First Lady have not shared a private meal, just the 2 of you, in over 18 months. The revelation was devastating. It was not a rumor of infidelity. It was a documented, logistical fact of 2 separate lives, undermining his entire public narrative. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Trump leaped from his chair, his face a mask of unadulterated rage. Lies, he roared, voice cracking with fury, stunning the audience into silence. A total setup. Fake news. He paced the stage, trembling, hands chopping the air. You're a low-rated hack, a puppet. Who gave you that? Traitors illegally. You have no right to discuss my family. My marriage is perfect. Everyone knows it.
She adores me.
It's perfect. His denial was frantic, emotional, and completely unhinged. Kimmel remained still, holding the open report. Sir, he said calmly, these aren't from the Democrats. They are from your own White House. Your schedule. All here in the public record. But Trump was beyond reason.
He had been exposed. His
foundational myth obliterated on live television with evidence he could not refute. He completely lost control. He yanked off his microphone, his face deep purple and blotchy. This interview is over, he screamed. It's a disgrace. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. He stormed off the stage, shoving past a stunned producer and vanishing into the wings as his aides scrambled frantically behind him. The studio fell into a profound, stunned silence. Jimmy Kimmel gazed down at the open report in his hands, then up at the camera, his expression not triumphant, but one of solemn, somber finality. We invited the president here tonight for an honest conversation about his record and his character, he said quietly as the audience slowly began to applaud. As it turns out, that is a conversation he is simply unwilling or perhaps unable to engage in. The meltdown was complete. A man's entire public identity detonated by the simple, quiet, and undeniable force of truth.